I'm trying to look at you. Let's see if it works. Greetings and welcome back to these video things. Today, there is no practice video. I will just be a little bit talking about the structure of the practice. So, in the beginning when you are practicing, it is maybe easier to find inspiration because everything is so new and there is always new things happening. But then when you have been practicing for a while and there is not so many new things happening, then it can be really difficult to do your own practice, to practice for yourself alone, which may be easier in the beginning, maybe not. But anyway, doing the self-practice is important and can be challenging. So for me, it is really helpful in the Ashtanga yoga system when we have three parts of the practice. We have a warm-up, which is the sun salutations. Then we have the practice itself. And then after that, we have the finishing sequence. So right now, we have been doing the sun salutations as warm-up. We have taken in 3 poses: Padangustasana, Trikonasana, Parshvakonasana. This is our practice. And then we have the finishing sequence where we are doing a small back bend seated and then lying down. So this is really helpful to have a structured practice because otherwise it is really easy to just end the practice when you have done one pose. But now when we have this structure, you know that, okay, I am doing the warm-up and then I will do the practice itself and then I will do the finishing sequence. Then it's easier to actually do all of those 3 parts when the body is already used to doing these 3 parts. So the body knows that, okay, after this warm-up, the sun salutations, then we have the poses, we have Trikonasana, Parshvakonasana, Padangustasana, and then we do a sun salutation again and sit down and do the finishing sequence. We will keep doing it like this and just be adding more and more into the middle part, into the big practice part. So this is a really genius system how to do your yoga practice because it means it's difficult to stop in the middle and just go and eat a sandwich. Same thing like if we think about visualization. Like we can visualize things and make it manifest. But we also need to understand that things don't happen automatically. We can't just visualize and go and eat a sandwich, to quote Jim Carrey. We can visualize and then use our physical hands and things to manifest things that we have been visualizing. That's how visualization works. So we need to have this visualization and sort of let go of it. And then we need to get to the work to make it happen. This is called Abhiyasa and Vairagya, which Patanjali talks about. Abhiyasa Vairagya Bhyam Tannirodhaha, which means that we need to be able to let go, and at the same time we need tremendous effort and self-discipline. So these are 2 opposites. The self-discipline and really the work part, and then the letting go part. Both are equally important to reach success in yoga, according to Patanjali. So, some more modern and more popular philosophy is that just let go. Let go and let things happen. Now, Patanjali would not agree on this. Patanjali would say that both are equally important. You need to let go, but then you need to also get to the working part, get to the self-discipline part. And we all have different ratios of this. Some people need to learn to let go more, and some people need to learn more self-discipline. Now, in this practice, we are learning both. We need the self-discipline to do the poses, but then in the pose we need to let go more and more. Just letting go and letting go, listening to the breath, not forcing anything. And then back to the vinyasa, which is more of the self-discipline part. And now this can also be applied to anything about the practice. Like we need to let go of the success that we had yesterday in practice. Let's say that yesterday's practice was so good and you felt so good afterwards. So then you might have the expectation that the next practice will be the same. And that is one way to ruin the practice, expecting that the practice will be just as good as sweet as yesterday's practice. It might be the total opposite of yesterday's practice, and then suddenly you lose faith in yoga. So it's important to understand this, that every practice is not feeling amazing and good. But generally when we practice, it feels better in the body after the practice than it did before. That is something that I can almost guarantee, even if you would hurt yourself in the practice a little bit. Let's say you get a little bit of a wrist pain. Anyway, after the practice, you somehow feel better. That is my experience, and also the experience of every single one person I have been talking to. There can be some really rare case where after the practice it has felt a lot worse in the body, but that is often due to something else, due to some other outer circumstance. Thank you for listening to my thoughts about this tiny part of this yoga philosophy, and see you in the next video. Namaste.